I am Shaunie Sanders, and this is the Girl Take Note podcast. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I wanted to share with you guys today some of the data that I got back from Spotify about the podcast. Now, mind you, I've only started this podcast in October, right? So it's only been 3 months, really. And so far, since airing this podcast, it has been downloaded 3,100 times, and it is in the 15 top % of podcasts on Spotify. I mean, let me repeat that. It has been downloaded 3,100 times. And it is part of the 15% top podcasts on Spotify. And when I got the information today, I was just so shocked to see that, because Spotify is doing this thing where they call it your wrapped season, right, for your podcast. And they're talking about, hey, how many times you recorded, and you're in the 70%, you record 70% more content than most people in your category. And I was just been very shocked by the data that has been given back to me, and I'm super happy about it. So what it tells me is that 3,100 people enjoy the content that I'm giving. You know what I mean? I have so much more room for growth, but it's exciting to hear, because when I started, I was like, you know what? I don't know who's going to listen, and I hope people listen, but I'm going to do my part in terms of like putting out the content. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be open. I'm going to share, you know what I mean? And I'm going to just put out great content for people, something that people want to hear, something people want to listen to and share with others. And so I'm excited to know that you guys have supported me and supported this podcast. So I really do appreciate it. And also, it's that going into 2023. So 2022 has kind of been like, okay, getting my foot back into the radio stuff, getting back into podcasting. And so it was a lot more of me just, making sure that I know I get the format down, right? I get the formula together. And so I feel like I've been doing that, which is why I've been doing a lot more solo episodes, because some people are afraid to do solo episodes as if they can't carry their own show. And I'm a person who feel like, listen, I can carry my own show in a solo episode, or I can have a co-host, or I can have a guest. But I do know going into 2023, you can expect more co-hosts with me. You can expect more guests, but you will also see solo episodes where they're just be me and you having a conversation, because while we're besties, right? I'm with you at the gym. I'm with you when you're shopping. I'm with you when you're in the car or wherever. I'm with you while you're laying in the bed, child. And so we're just here, we're chatting, we're having a conversation. So I love doing solo episodes, because I feel like it's just me and you, and we're talking, and that's just the way it is, right? And so I just want to say thank you to everyone who has downloaded the podcast, who have supported the podcast. I really do appreciate you guys. I haven't did a show for 2 weeks simply because I wasn't going to do one the week of Thanksgiving. I wanted to just kind of like enjoy the family, get ready for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. I didn't put out one the first week of December simply because I was getting ready for the holidays. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I am such a holiday kind of girl. Like, Christmas is my shit, right? And so I was getting the house together. I was getting the bedrooms together. I was getting all the decor up, all the linens changed. Because if you follow me on any of my social media pages, you would know that my entire house is decorated for the holidays. Bathrooms, bedrooms have Christmas trees in them. I have 5 Christmas trees in this house. And so this is my time of the year. I love this time of the year. Something really magical happens this time of the year. And I feel like when you put your Christmas decor up in your house and you come downstairs in the morning and you see all this wonderful decor I got reds and whites, and I have golds and stuff like that. And it just, I don't know, it just does something. It lifts my spirits. It makes me feel happy. I don't know if I'm the only person that it does this to, but it makes me feel happy. And I'm so excited, when I wake up in the morning and I see it. And so I wish that for everyone else, which brings me to what I want to talk about today, is because this is the season of giving. So I want to talk about the art of giving. Because a lot of times throughout this year, we are more so in a place of just receiving, like, oh, what is someone going to get me, versus what we're going to give others and what we're going to do for others, and it's just that time of the year where it gives you so much gratification when you give. And I'm not just saying only give throughout the holiday season. You should be a giver in your life. And I get it that, listen, sometimes we feel like, I give and I give and I give and I get nothing in return, and people take and people use you. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta kind of like stop enabling people. You gotta cross the line at some point. And I completely understand that shit 100%. This is not to advocate for anybody to be taken advantage of, but it's to advocate to say, there's so many joyfulness and blessings when you give. Even if you don't have a lot, when you give to others, it truly blesses your life. I can tell you right now that my life, an example of my blessings in my life, is an example of the things I've done for other people, the things I've given to other people, unselfishly, right? I don't expect anything in return. I don't even necessarily expect you to say thank you. You know what I mean? Because when I do something for someone, I'm doing it out the kindness of my heart. I'm doing it out of just, because you're in need. And if I can help you, then I'm going to help you because you're in need. I never look for anything in return. I don't need you to give me any accolades for it. I don't even need you to remember I did it. Right. But, people underestimate how good it feels when you're able to help someone else. And I'm not going to say people underestimate it. I just think that we become a society that's so hardened. You know what I'm saying? That is so disconnected from being kind and being nice to people because we're so guarded. And we very well have to be, because people will take advantage of you. You don't know who you can be kind to. You don't know who you can actually give to if they might hurt you in return. You know what I mean? It's like driving a car and picking up a hitchhiker. You kind of like, I'm not doing that shit. That person might get in my car and fucking kill me, right? And I get that part. But I don't know. I just feel like we become a society that's so desensitized now, where we see people on the street who are homeless and we won't give them because we feel like, oh, they ain't gonna do nothing but take my money and go get high. Or they ain't not even homeless. This is just what they do for a living. And that may be true. That really is. But when you give, it's not about what they do, what you give them. It's not about how they act behind what you give them. It's about giving to others is about you. It's not necessarily about them. It's about how it makes you feel, and that you're in this world and you're helping people. And you've decided that I'm not going to just be all about me and mine. I'm going to actually help someone else. And I know a lot of people just wait until this time of the year to do so. But I would encourage you to understand that giving should be a natural thing for you. And I understand that a lot of times we can't always give because we don't always have it. I myself sometimes have to tell people, you know what, I wish I could help you, but at this time I can't. And that's okay to say too, because there's still blessings in that too. You have good intentions for people and you want to help if you can. But we do understand that, hey, you know what? My immediate needs do come. I have to take care of to make sure that my household is good and that I'm good. So therefore, I'm able to give. But, there's just so much joy in it. And I just wish we were more of a society that understood that. And just even being kind and giving is just me being able to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this person a thank you. I'm going to give this person a smile. Because you don't know what can change someone's day. Too many times we see so much on social media where everyone can be so mean to people, can be bullies online. People put themselves out there on social media. You know what I mean? And I'm not the one here to criticize people and what they do on social media. Because some people put a lot of their business out there for the world to see. And then as humans, we criticize and we critique and we'll be mean or we'll say something encouraging, you know what I mean? Just to support or to not support this person. But I just feel like we just a society of people who are just like, kindness has been taken out of everything. Kindness has just flown out the window. Like, we don't know how to be kind to each other. We don't know how to respect each other. We don't know how to respect each other's relationship. That's why you have so many side chicks and mistresses running around, because we don't have respect for things anymore. Men don't respect their wives, don't respect their girlfriends, wives don't respect their husbands or boyfriends. It's so much going on where it's like, if we knew how to be kind, if we knew how to be more of givers, you know what I mean? Not just some of us, but all of us. We'll have so much of a better world to live in. We wouldn't be afraid to give if we didn't think that people was either going to hurt us and stuff like that, right? So I'm such a big giver throughout the year. But especially throughout this time of the year, it's just something, it just does something for me. Like, I'm not the girl that, like, my love language is not gifts, right? My love language is actually quality time. I'm big on that. And so my husband would ask me every year, Christmas, since we've been married, hey, where's your list? I need your Christmas list. I need your Christmas list. And I could never think of anything for him to get me, because I feel like, I normally buy myself what I want throughout the year, right? What I want to get. And I could never come up with a list. But one thing my husband know about me, and I tell him this all the time, is that I love pajamas and I love lounge sets, right? I love a nice lounge set from Skims. I love a nice pajama set from Skims. Like, I'm a big fucking fan of Skims, and I already told you guys that. Kim Kardashian did her thing with that line. So if you want to get me something, then give me something like that. Like, I love those type of things. I love pajamas. My mom got me into that. But when it's a time of the year, I don't think about myself. And I don't know if anybody else is like that. I don't think about me and what I want. I think about what I want to get for everyone else. And I think about how exciting that is, just the thought of giving someone something for Christmas. Because you never know, like, sometimes this might be the only time some people get stuff. This might be the only time that they'll get anything. And you got to sometimes think about that. Not everybody have great Christmases. Not everybody have a great life where they're, people are helping throughout their life. People are doing this and doing that. I think that's why people go overboard during this time of the year to try to give to others, because sometimes this is the only time that they will ever get something. And I've been fortunate in my life. I've been truly blessed. Like, my mother has always been a giver of her children. We have great Christmases. We have great holidays. We had great lives. And my mom was a single mother. And we have great lives. We had a great life, and so my mother instilled in us how to give to others, because my mother was so big on Christmas. That was her thing. Like, she loved it. And that's where I get my love for the holidays from, because my mom is like that, and I'm super excited that my mom actually is coming to spend Christmas with me this year. It's been a few years since she's been able to come, because as you guys know, as I talked before, my mother suffers from dementia. And so my sister is bringing her up along with some of her family. And so we're going to have a great Christmas. And I'm so happy my mom get to come, because my mother loves Christmas decorations. She loves to see it. It's just always been her thing. Growing up, my mother's house was the house that you would come to see the Christmas displays. You would drive by her house to see that. You would say to yourself, oh my God, look at this house. So that's how big my mom was about Christmas. And that's how she instilled those things in us too. And so, but also she instilled the art of giving, because I don't remember my mom receiving a lot. Like, my mom will shop. My mom always had stuff. My mom will get herself stuff. So when it came to Christmas, as we began to get older as us children, we came to Christmas, because there's like 12 of us. We're now saying, okay, Mom, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas, Mom? What do you want us to get you? And my mother didn't have a list, because my mom felt like she had everything. And she more so just wanted to give to her children and her grandchildren. And she gave big. And so now that's what I do. And so I'm in that same place. And it's so funny when I think about it, is that I'm just like her now, because I don't look for people to give me anything for Christmas. If I get something on Christmas, oh my God, it'll be greatly appreciated, of course. But I don't look for it anymore, because I'm so much more of a giver than I am a receiver. And so it just brings me so much joy to see the kids' faces when they open their gifts. When you give them something, and that thing that they wanted so much, right? And you see their faces, and it just brings such a warmth over me that I can't explain. Like, it just makes me so happy. It makes me happy, when I see the kids happy. That's number one. No matter what we do, when we spend family time together, I see them together as siblings and they just enjoying themselves. I just think about those memories that they will be able to hold on to and think back on in times of maybe hard times. They can think back on memories of good, right? And I want to make sure that I'm a part of that. And so I feel like just the art of giving is about being unselfish, being able to see past your own situation, no matter if it's good or bad, being able to see past whatever you may be facing, whatever you may be going through, just to see someone else happy. And you might be going through some real tough shit, because don't get it wrong. I'm going through some stuff. I told you guys that last episode, surviving through hard times. Like, I go through stuff. But at the same time, I still give, even though I may be going through something, because it does bring me joy. And I've talked about find the things that bring you joy. And this time of the year just brings a lot of people joy. It makes a lot of people happy. Even people who feel like, hey, you know what? I might not have nothing to give this year. I might not be getting anything myself, but just putting up a Christmas tree or a wreath on my door, or just going out and seeing the Christmas decor and seeing people in that spirit of happiness and joyfulness and giving brings happiness to other people. And I think that's important. I really do think that's something important, because we get too caught up in ourselves. We get too caught up in what we want. And then that what brings me to, which we'll probably have another topic about that, in terms of like raising entitled children, right? Where when Christmas comes, it's almost like, well, it's just to be expected because they expect so much throughout the year. Christmas coming is like, okay, yeah, I know you get me something because that's just how it is. And you just want people to be surprised. You don't want to have children who are so entitled to certain things. And we really have to get into that topic. But I'm gonna get into that topic, and I'm going to bring a few mothers on with me so we could talk about the children raising entitled kids, right? Because I don't know what that is, but it seems to be some kind of fucking trend going on right now. A lot of kids are coming up these days, and they seem very entitled. But nonetheless, kind of got off topic, but nonetheless, all those entitled kids will get their Christmas gifts too, right? But the art of giving, like I said, is a very unselfish way of living. It's a very unselfish way of being. And it's trying to help people when you can, but it's not enabling people, right? It's not enabling them to just depend on others. It's also encouraging people to be more independent and say, hey, you have to learn how to depend on yourself. I don't mind helping you now, but let me show you how you can get it too. So it's not about just giving someone something to eat. It's about teaching them how to fish too. You know what I mean? So they can get it for themselves, because giving to others doesn't mean that you give until you're so depleted where you have nothing left. And then that brings me to think about when we say giving in terms of like emotional support. Because sometimes we can give our emotional support to friends and family to the point where we're so depleted where we don't have nothing left for ourselves. Like nothing to give ourselves, because we're so caught up in making sure that we help other people that we don't have anything left for us. Because you've given so much of yourself throughout the year. You've given so much of yourself to other people. You know, so I'm guilty of this, because being a giver, as I said, sometimes I can get emotionally drained. Because you're giving so much and you're doing so much. And then at some point as a giver, you begin to think, okay, do I feel a little unappreciated by people? And that's when it goes into, and when I start thinking thoughts of me, okay, I'm not being appreciated for people, it makes me think, okay, now I'm being selfish. Because when I give something, I don't look for people to appreciate me for it. I don't look for people to throw accolades, as I said, at me or give me a round of applause. I give because it's what I want to do. I give because it brings me joy and because I get blessed because of it. My life an example of the blessings because I've given to people. God has been nothing but good to me, shown me nothing but favor, open doors for me, simply because I have been good to people. And I hold on to that because no matter what I'm going through or what I'm facing, I'm going to continue to be good to people. Even if you're the motherfucker that's being nasty to me and don't deserve me to be around you, I'm still going to be good to you because I still get blessed in the midst of it. It's not for me now to turn around and be nasty and mean back to you. It's for me to now come at you in love and still be there for you no matter what. And I think that's what the art of giving is. The art of giving is being able to give unselfishly. It's being able to not expect nothing in return, and being able to understand that you're blessed just because you give. You will be blessed because of it. And it might not be, hey, I'm going to give you this and now where's my blessing, God? It may take some time, but you know that you're being blessed is because when you get through those hard moments where you think you're going to be broken, or you think something's going to break you, or you think something's going to be taken from you, and then God steps in and shows you, no, I got you. I got you. You're going to be okay because you give to others and I'm giving to you. I'm telling you, that's exactly how it goes. It's being able to give and being able to give unselfishly and not expect nothing in return. That's the type of giver I am. And I think that's why I've always been so blessed throughout my life. I think that's why my podcasting is growing the way it is. I think that's why everything I'm touching is growing, simply because I've been an unselfish giver. And I'm going to tell you right now, when someone give me something back, if I give someone money, like, especially when we give money, one of the things I do when I give someone money, one, I make sure that I don't need it. That's number one, right? I don't need it back within a certain amount of time. Because if you give someone money that you need within like a week, that's unrealistic. I wouldn't give it nobody that. because you're not sure if you're going to get it back. And so when I give people money, I don't expect it back. And that may sound weird to people and that may sound crazy, but I just don't. And when I do get it back, it's almost like a surprise to me. And I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, because I never want anyone to feel like, to walk around thinking that they owe me something. And so when I give them something, I don't mention it anymore. I don't throw it in their faces. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. I've given that to you. If I needed it, I would have never gave it to you. But because I'm okay with it and it wasn't a need, that's why I was able to give it to you. And that's why I was able to say, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if you pay me back or not. It's up to you. Do what you need to do. And I've said that to numerous people to say, hey, don't worry about paying me back. Okay. That's not your goal. Take the money, do what you need to do, and make sure you're good. And I think when you tell people that, it gives a weight off of them to make them feel like, okay, I'm walking around this person knowing I owe them the money. They probably looking at me crazy, you know, that type of thing. But it releases them from that confinement of owing someone something. And it releases me from that confinement of them owing me. And me walking around and say, oh, you know what, this person owed me money. Where my money? Run my motherfucking money. You know, so I don't do that to people. I don't do it to people. I give you something, it's yours. Even though like, oh, I'm gonna pay you back. I was like, it's fine. Just take care of you. Don't worry about me. Take care of you. Because like I said, I don't give if I need it. I don't give if I can't. If it's something that I have to take care of financially and I can't give it, then I will let that person know. I can't do it. I don't lead people on either. When I say I'm going to do something for you, I do it. I don't say I'm going to do something for you and not do it. When I say I can't do it, I can't do it. But that's why people know they can depend on me in that way, because when I say, hey, yeah, I got you, I'm going to give it to you, they know they're going to get it from me. Because I've been in situations where someone said, hey, yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to help you. Listen, I've been in my life, I've been through hardship, like I said, where I've needed help. And I've gone to people expecting them to help me, and they said they would, and then they turn around, they didn't. That's the worst fucking feeling in the world. It's for someone to tell you something and then not do, especially when it comes to financial things where you need that money to help you do something, help you stay in your apartment, help you keep your car, pay your insurance. I don't know what the fuck, keep you out of jail, whatever it is. That is the worst feeling in the world when someone say, oh yeah, I'm gonna help you, and then don't. I've been in that position. And I never would put anyone else in that position. That's why I said, if I'm going to help you with something, you can always trust my word and know that you're getting it. Because most likely I got it that day and I'm going to give it to you that day. I ain't got to tell you, oh, well, wait till this day. But that's just who I am. That is the art of giving. You have to give and release it. You don't have to worry about it. And it doesn't have to be just this time of the year, just throughout the holiday season where, yeah, I give a little more throughout this time of the year simply because I'm just in that giving mood. You know what I mean? So I will give a little bit more. But I'm realistic too in my giving. Like I said, I don't give what I can't give. What I can't do, I don't stretch myself thin because of it. You know what I mean? And I don't put myself in no bad financial situations to try to give either. And I just do what I can do. But that's enough. And I'm blessed because of what I've done for people. So listen, all I'm telling you is that the art of giving really does, you reap the blessings because of it. If you give unselfishly, don't give someone to say, oh, I can't wait to get this money back, and then start hounding people for money, running down people because you gave them something. Because if you have to run someone down for money, then you should have never gave it to them. Don't give people something that you got to run them down for. That's not how it works. When you give with the expectations that, you know what, I might not get this back. Because why would they give it back when they need it in the first place? And you have to understand that. Like, you might not get it back, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to be able to move on, because you never know that person actually might give it back to you. So let's just keep that in mind when we are giving. Let's keep in mind the spirit of giving and what it's all about. It's about giving unselfishly and watch and see how you'll be blessed because of it. That's what it does for me. I don't know about you guys. I just wanted to share that with you guys because that's kind of like how I've been feeling and what I've been thinking about, you know, since November, actually, since the start of the holiday season with Thanksgiving. I've just been thinking about being thankful for the things that I have been able to give others, being thankful for the things that people have been able to do for me, but also be in a spirit of giving throughout the rest of this year as we move on into 2023. Listen, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I am Shaunie Sanders. This is the Girl Take No podcast, and I'll see you guys next time.